We take a look at this. Political turmoil continues to grip Nelson Mandela Bay Metro as Mayor Gary van Niekerk faces increasing pressure amidst fresh allegations of misconduct and mismanagement. In the latest development, there were talks of potential coalition between the ANC and DA, which could lead to yet another change in leadership. But since 2016, the Metro has seen a revolving door of mayors, with 6 different leaders taking the helm in 7 years. For more on this, Newzroom Afrika's Sipha Kema joins us live from Gqeberha. It seems the leadership squabbles continue in that area. Sipha, good morning to you.
Well, absolutely, Naledi continues in the Nelson Mandela Bay, but this coalition or possible union is hoping that it will be intact and together for the long run to stop the instability in the Nelson Mandela, and that's the talks between the Democratic Alliance and the ANC. That's what we'll be looking into today. But of course, this conversation, unlike the previous coalitions, it's not happening at a regional level, but more at provincial level. The provincial delegates are the ones having this conversation. Now, Naledi, let's bring in the reminders for the viewers on this timeline of the mayors of the Nelson Mandela Bay since 2016. Now, on your screen, you'll be seeing 4 different mayors, starting from Athol Trollip. 2016, Athol Trollip was elected as the mayor when the DA won the most seats, but not majority, forming coalitions with smaller parties, Naledi, such as the UDM, the ACDP, COPE as well. But unfortunately, due to instability within the coalitions and disputes, he was removed in 2018 August with a vote, with a motion of no confidence vote. And then Mongameli Bobani from the UDM rather, was brought in August 2018, Naledi. But of course, he only served just a year, basically, of that tenure, where we saw infighting, as well as his tenure was characterized by having issues of governance as well as corruption, allegations of corruptions. He was removed in December 2019. That's where we also saw the acting mayor then taking place while coalition talks were happening. Sonono Buyeye in December 2019 up to March 2020, 3 months in the mayoral seat, waiting for those coalition parties to be formed and the talks to end. Then, of course, they came in a Democratic Alliance mayor, then Nqaba Bhanga. Now, for now, we'll pause it there because we do have Nqaba Bhanga, who was mayor during March 2020 right up until November 2021. Just before the local government elections, where we saw Eugene Johnson coming in with another coalition. But let's bring in Nqaba Bhanga now as the former mayor. Mr. Bhanga, thank you so much for joining us. Now, talking about the instability, the changing of leadership, the changing of mayors, you were one of those that were brought in, but right up until the local government elections in November 2021. Let's talk about the challenges that face those that are currently seated or those that are seated in the mayoral seat.
I must say it's very difficult to be a mayor. You carry the aspiration of close to 2 million people, Nelson Mandela. And with instability in government, it gives problems because as you are starting to build up a vision of a city, and then things change. One of the problems is that it's personalities that destroys government, and those personalities become higher than the interest of the people. The second one is factionalism, that is not only in political leadership but in the administration. Administrators are also involved in destabilizing municipalities. That's why in South Africa we need not only a vision of an individual, but in municipalities we need a vision of a city.
Now, within your tenure, with the years that, well, just over a year that you were wearing the mayoral chain, what exactly would you say are the issues that you were dealing with amongst those that you've mentioned, the instability that caused instability? I mean, the issues that you're causing now, you talk about now, and the chopping and changing of leadership and administration have affected governance in the Nelson Mandela Bay Metro, as we've seen even currently now.
I must say that year, remember when I took over until the local government elections. We had reasonable individuals, helped by our national leadership, General Olomisa and some of the leaders, including like Gaten Mackenzie, we were able to have conversations with them. And our approach was to listen as leadership and have consensus in the main, because respecting your partners is also important in leadership. But the biggest challenge that we had here in the city was the supply chain. Nothing was happening. The biggest dividing factor in the administration is the soul of the supply chain here. There was an instance where Aspen lost close to 50 million rand because of a contract that the municipality did not have for a cable that was supposed to be installed. It was they were holding it in supply chain. But because we had a decisive leadership, we had to deal with the director for supply chain and put somebody who was capable to do that. After that, we were able to deliver services.
And now, just quickly, Mr. Bhanga, talking about the future, looking at the DA and the UDM, never been done before, especially in the Nelson Mandela Bay. Just briefly, how does it look according to you? Would it be stable?
I think so, it will be. I mean, we need to think for the people. Even when I was the leader of the DA, I spoke about this, and I said that could be the best arrangement we'll have in the city.